for Bunnelby. Okay. I'll go right here. Question is, do I have a Diggersby that's not Boomy? I don't think so. Yeah, it's just Boomy, right? Alright, I know where to find one. Another quest right over here. Alright, it's a no mob, I guess. That's it with the earthquake, but oops. Alright. Yeah, alright. There we go. This doesn't belong in shinies. That too. And Scatterbug. Do I have a Scatterbug? I had one. I evolved it. I don't have a Scatterbug. Okay. Real quick. Move that. I guess we'll use box 9. Add the question of the day. That's what I'm doing right now. Alright. Sounded like it just made the sound where it's about to be nighttime, yeah. Probably avoid the battle zones for now just because I'm more focused on, are there flower shops here? I didn't know that. I'm more focused on completing the Pokedex. Here's Scatterbug. I'm pretty sure it's found in the first Wild Zone. One of the first ones that I caught. Yeah, Wild Zone 1. It's an early game Bugmon, right? Just hoping it's not a nighttime exclusive. Daytime exclusive, I mean. Really? The Bunnelby is the best? Oh, shoot. Look at that. No way. We were looking for a Scatterbug and we found a shiny alpha Scatterbug. Dude. Oh, no way. We've only been live for like 4 or 5 minutes, too. That's crazy. Hold on. Let me KO this so I can check it out. No way. Man, I am absolutely not worried about whatever these two got going on. All right, I'm gonna save too. I know it auto saves, but just in case. Dude, no way. I guess I gotta put that in the shinies box then, right? Look at that, man. Shiny alpha Scatterbug. I mean, speed nature. If we were trying to be competitive with it, might want to change that around with a mint. IVs, alright. Best HP and defense and speed and special attack. That's already pretty solid. Obviously, there's no, Pokemon breeding in this game, but if there were, we'd have a pretty solid set of IVs and also pretty good for attack and special defense, but neither of those matter too much for Vivillon. So actually, the IVs are great for if we wanted a competitive Vivillon. That's dope, man. Let's go. Alright, the only downside is, I think I'm going to put it in my shinies box instead of my my Pokédex box. Dang. Oh, let me check the moves too. Oh wait, yeah, don't check that here. So it has Protect, Tackle, and String Shot. That's dope. That's dope. What's going on, Suleiman? Yeah, that's dope. That's fire. I wasn't even expecting that. Like I wasn't shining hunting. Didn't have the shiny charm. As y'all saw, I literally just like pulled up here looking for a Scatterbug. And that is even better than I could have expected. Cool. I still want to catch a normal one though. Just because I want one to just sort of sit in the box. I might actually train and evolve the shiny one. Alright, now they're not even here. Alpha Mareep, I guess. Alright, yeah, I have to fly away, right, to reset it, don't I? Alright, I guess I'll KO these real quick. And fast travel. There we go, there we go. Let's see, a battle. Who do you want to see me battle? I could go to a battle zone real quick. Let's see. Right now I'm trying to fill up the Pokédex. I'm trying to complete the live dex, which is having one of every Pokemon in your PC. We can find a battle. Super effective moves. Alright, Beedrill around the corner. I'm gonna try to snipe it. Closer. Can't get the view angle. There we go. Got him. Got him. Still got a couple Pokemon here that I'm still training up. As you can see, the Aerodactyl is still being trained. Alakazam still being trained, and the Delphox. Oh shoot! I didn't even realize he sent out a Pangoro. Oh, that was almost really bad. All right, let me switch out. So yeah, I got a couple Mons still being trained. I haven't even really put much thought into my competitive team that much yet. I'm thinking that either Alakazam or Aerodactyl is going to be on it, as well as Talonflame. But I still got to play around with them. Talonflame has a lot of potential, like a lot of potential. Gardevoir, I still have a few decent strategies with her as well. Who else? Alakazam, the only thing about Alakazam, right, he hits hard and he's really fast, but he doesn't have a lot of bulk. I need to sneak up on her. See if she turns around. Alright, bring Gengar over here. There we go. There we go. Bring him over here. Can I, like... There we go. Yeah. Get her suspicious. There we go. Oh, I didn't mean to Calm Mind. Shoot. Forgot it's on a different side on Gardevoir. Alright, let's play a dangerous game here. There we go. Got him. Who's next? Sableye. Light work. Mega Sableye. So... I wonder if I can get a Challenger's ticket in one go. I'm in the Infinite ZA Royale. So, you know, obviously the rank up stuff is done, but I gotta get 50 points for a Challenger's ticket. I got a Master Ball, actually, from the Challenger's ticket the other day. That was pretty cool. Because that's one of the lowest chance items to get. My luck in this game's actually been pretty good. I've gotten 2 shinies today, actually. Fun fact. I got this Malamar when I was just playing on my own earlier today. And then, yeah, y'all just saw I got this Scatterbug, too. And then I had the Pumpkaboo. I got that within, like, my first week of playing the game. So, yeah, this game has... been putting luck on my side. Talonflame. Oh shoot, I didn't realize that she was facing me. Nah, whatever. I'm thinking. I'm up here. Go. No! Alright, there we go. Chandelure. I can roll out that too. On such a small surface, and Inosuke keeps rolling right off. And then a Houndoom. Oh yeah, that's close combat all the way. Mega Houndoom. Get down here, bro. Alright, you know what? There we go. Come on, Roy. There we go. Now just heal later. Actually, that's it's a cafe lady, so they heal us after we win anyways. Evolve Cafe Specialty, why not? Take the free heal. I need more cards to rack up points. There's nothing around. There's one. Dragon type moves, okay. I am going to then bring in... There we go. This is my box of mostly team eligible Pokemon. There's a couple in here that got mixed in. But I'm going to bring in the Black Dragon Acnologia for that mission. Just knock out with Dragon type moves. Don't have to sneak up or anything. Alright, I can do that. Ghost type moves. I can also do that. Dude, where is everybody? Like, there's all these cards and stuff. Super effective moves, water type, super effective. No, I'll actually keep the ghost type because it's 15,000. I'm going to a different battle zone. I hate when they do this. There's like nobody around. Probably already wasted too much time looking for people. I don't know if I got a challenger's ticket. Alright, there's somebody. Oops. And of course she has a fairy type. I can't even use dragon type. That's fine. Mob's got it. Oh, you lived. Shoot. Oh, good. I think we landed Protect. Great. There we go. I've been working on getting my timing right with Protect. I used to have Double Team on there too, but the timing on that, I didn't feel like figuring that out. Protect is a lot simpler. Oh, I should have used Shadow Ball. Probably wouldn't have O-code and we could have got 2 hits instead of just one on the Psychic. Alright. What I think I'm going to do, instead of using Mega Alakazam, swap the leftovers on the mob so that he can heal as we walk around. Where are they? Mob's defenses are too low for me to be getting ambushed like this. Ah, is that him? That's him over there. Oh, shoot. No, like literally right here. Okay. Dude, really? Come on. Hit her! Ugh. Fine, sure. Slowpuff goes down. We return to normal. That was annoying. But at least I got a couple hits off on Shadow Ball. Hypnosis, no! I mean, all it really does is, Heal Block is going to be more annoying. Yeah, all it really does is make it slower to recharge attacks, but that's not great. Alright, I'll just switch out Mob and get the Heal Block off. 6 out of 20 Ghost type moves. I should start using Dragon type moves too, just because pretty much free points. Ah, wait a minute. Switch that out. There we go. Now let's switch Mob real quick. I did not do that. Acnologia also has Shadow Claw if we need. We'll try to get to a rooftop. Dang, bro. This battle zone is kind of trash. Nobody out here. Alright, well, what I'm not going to do is waste time doing a bunch of parkour. I'm going to check this one. Because typically, especially in the Infinite ZA, usually there's somebody like every, few dozen meters. Alright, there we go. I can't even use Ghost type moves. Alright, let's go with Dragon type. Why did I use Shadow Claw? Oh, well, whatever. Lowered attack is probably for the better. Never mind. I was gonna say we could get more hits off with it, but looks like that's not gonna happen. Ah, perfect. Alright. That should be the mission right there. Oh, it was knockout, not land 3 hits. Okay, that's fine. Explosion, take it. Alright, let's see where our next opponent is. There's somebody nearby. Do I just let them ambush me? Ah! Another Charizard! Let's do it! I don't even need to sneak up. I'm ready for this one. Never seen something like this before. Boom. Ah, wow, that's funny because the Mega Evolution actually almost really hurt me there if his Dragon Rush landed. And the Dragonite, Mega Evolve. Please do. Please Mega Evolve. Ah, boring. Got him. What's going on, Gogeta Glazer? Why is the game so laggy? That's usually an internet connection thing. Not the game, because on my end, it's pretty smooth. Alright, Ghost-type mons. Alright. That's what I get for choosing an Alpha Alakazam. I can't even see the Pokemon I'm trying to sneak up on. Absol. Oh, I'm gonna check out its moveset. Air Slash. Future Sight. Ah, are we dealing with a special attacking Absol with no Dark type moves? Cool. I'll take that. Somebody else here. Oh, that's not good. Was like Alakazam in the Abra evolution line. Yeah, man, classic. Classic psychic type evolution line. In fact, I want to say they were the, not the first, but they were some of the first and some of the only psychic types out there. Because the psychic type was pretty rare in earlier generations before they introduced Espeon and other mons in future games. In the original Red and Blue, it was what, just the Alakazam line, Mew and Mewtwo that had the psychic typing. Much, but never mind. I forgot Aggron is a physical tank, but strong special attacker, handles it pretty easily. I still need to land 5 more hits if I want to get 45k points, or 15k and reach 45k. Here's what I'm gonna do: fast heal, go to this rooftop. I don't need to sneak up on anybody, so I'm actually not going to waste any more time doing that. I am just going to go in. Go. Work mob. That's what, 1, we need 5 more. I need stronger mons. I need bulkier mons that can take a couple Shadow Balls. I might even switch to Acnologia, because, no, because Acnologia's attack is definitely higher than Mob's special attack. Is it? Level 100 versus level 88. Let me see. Well, it's not gonna help that it's that he's mega evolved right now. Yeah, 394 versus 30. Wow, 306. That I'm inclined to believe then that base Alakazam probably has a higher special attack at level 88 than Are we for real? Just fight me, dude. I hate when the obstacle gets in the way. Alright, Aqua Ring. This is good. This is good. Vaporeon is a tanky mon, and if it heals itself with Aqua Ring, use it a little early. Yeah, I'm gonna let it heal itself with Aqua Ring, and I'm just gonna keep getting hits with Shadow Ball. Wait a minute, perfect. Because the time won't pass during the day. Shoot, I was looking for protect. Alright, actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. That's so tedious. I could, though. I could have. If I had, like, a weaker Pokemon, too, maybe with the Chandelure, I'm pretty sure that had, well, Stab might have triggered, but... Wait, no, why am I protecting? I could have just moved away. Blizzard is, like, super easy to... Uh-oh. Shoot. That's what I get. Playing too much. That's fine. Still have one more ghost type user on the team. That hyper voice might be kind of nasty though. There we go. Power World is way better than Pokemon? What is Power World? A game where players... You mean Pal World? I don't, Oh, Hypno. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Also, Harry, I just realized this was you. How's it going? How's it going? Yeah, I just realized that was you. Usually just shows up as Harry Todd. I just noticed. Yeah, I did forget about the Hypno line. There might be others too, actually. Now that I'm wrong. Yeah, I've heard of Pal World. Alright. Gogeta, I got a question for you. And I'm laughing because I ask this question a lot, actually. If Pal World is better than Pokemon, then why did you call it Pal World twice? You would think that a game that you were fairly adamant about being better than an entire franchise, you'd at least know the name of, right? Just curious on that. Let's heal up real quick here. We'll use a Max Survive. Mob fought hard today. Alright, super effective moves. And fire type moves. Perfect. Saw a Gourgeist somewhere. Sneak up and start before they... Because you go pow in it. Alright. that was good. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. Because you go pow. Pokemon just remakes their game and sells them for a high price. I mean, I'm gonna say this, and I don't mean it as an attack on you, but you are speaking as like somebody who probably has not played a lot of Pokemon games and is likely just repeating what others say online. Because, well, yes, the Pokemon games obviously do have, at least the core games, do have the similar structure of, you know, build your team of 6 and the type matchups and stuff. There's a pretty good amount of substantial differences from game to game. Alright, Gardevoir. He's super effective moves, right? Still went out of boxes in the new flat. ATM while with me. Fair enough, fair enough. Oh, Alakazam battle. Got him. You're telling me you need 2 games to fully max out your index and is just 1 Pokemon. I don't know what that means. If you're referring to them selling 2 different copies of games, I mean, yeah, in some games you do have to have both versions of the games. But actually, no, that's not true. You don't need 2 different games. You need either 2 different games, or you can make use of the game's online feature, where you can trade with players who do have those other games. So there are ways to get around that without having to purchase another game. If that's what you were trying to say. Pokemon Sword, Shield, Sun and Moon. Okay, yeah. So I mean that's 2 examples right there, right? Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon. Stories are more or less the same with the difference of Necrozma and Solgaleo, and then do I have 50,000? I do. Okay, I got a challenger ticket. Cool. I'm just gonna let the day dawn. And then you have Zamazenta and Zacian. We also have just different Pokedexes, different Mons available in each game as well. I would say that Scarlet and Violet does a really good job too at really emphasizing the difference between, you know, the 2 versions of the game. They definitely, probably, at least in my opinion, do the best at really feeling like you're playing 2 different games, you know, with one focusing on Pokemon being brought from the past and the other focusing on Pokemon being brought from the future. Online features, back in my day, trading required us to have friends sit in the same room with a huge cable connected to our Game Boys. Hey, there once was a time, man. There once was a time. Yeah, I used to literally have like group chats with my friends who also play Pokemon. None of us old enough to even like drive or go over each other's houses. Just like, dude, like when can we hang out? Like I need this, blah blah blah. Let me get this Mon. All right, there we go. Scatterbug. Let's pull up our Pokédex again. That's where we left off. So for those of y'all who might be new to the stream, I'm trying to complete the live dex, which is where you have 1 of each Pokemon. Oops. Yeah, you have 1 of each Pokemon in the available Pokédex. So we made it to Scatterbug, but when I finally made it to Wild Zone 1 to catch a Scatterbug, instead I ran into a shiny Alpha Scatterbug. So I decided to keep that in my shinies box, and now we have the normal Scatterbug that I'm going to find and put in the box. I also just saw my Vivillon, which I'm going to move to Scatterbug. Oops, that's not what I meant to do at all. Scatterbug. Here we go. Alright, this goes after... Yep. Now we need a Spupa, so I need 1 more Scatterbug. I could just catch a Spupa, but they evolve, like, really fast. I could probably feed it a bunch of XP candies and get that to evolve, right? Let me see what level Spupa evolves at. Like, I'm pretty sure it evolves at, like, level 10, you know? Level 9. Yeah, so I'll just feed it a bunch of XP candies. It's another thing, man. XP candies. We didn't have those back in the day either. You had to real-life level grind. But Pokemon Glazer, what was 4 Pokemon games? Show me some Pokemon cards and then I'll think you're a fan. Alright. Oh my goodness. I really can't believe I'm even addressing this, but sure, here you go. Gogeta Glazer, why do you do this every time, man? Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. You did the same thing when I first started playing the game, which is how I knew it was you, where you came in and said, no, this game is better, but the thing that you said was better, you actually didn't know about, so I knew that you were trolling. Then you got kicked because, like, what are we doing here? Made a new account, again, came back just to troll. And it's weird, right? Because it'd be one thing if you were making new accounts and coming back every day, right? That's one... I gave him all the XP candies, right? If you're making new accounts and coming back every day just to troll, you do it, like, every few weeks, which means you gotta be, like, sitting around just waiting for your opportunity, right? It's nothing better to do, man. There is nothing better to do. Come on. Come on, man. We're better than that. Are we not? Are we not? And that's a genuine question. Are we not? Like, what are we doing here? What's going on, Randy? Remember when you were grinding Gen 2? You remember. You were OG. We had rare candies in red and blue. Rare candy was all you had, yeah. A rare candy, and rare candies were like impossible to come by. The rare candy in the Master Ball, you had to, Nah, I took a month off. Okay, well, I'm glad that you took a month to explore other things. Still is, in my opinion, a little weird that, that after a month it led you back here, but welcome back, I guess. Had silver in Gen 2. My brother Gold Lugia is way cooler. You know ball. You know ball. Alright, let's put this. Alright. Y'all ready? You ready? Matter of fact, you ready, Harry Todd? You ready? I'm gonna go 9 for 9 right here. I'm gonna go 9 for 9 right here. Y'all ready? Lock in. I'm gonna go 9 for 9 right here. Red over blue, alright? Pokemon red over Pokemon blue. Pokemon silver over Pokemon gold. Oh, alright, Gen 3. Gen 3 is where we really get into it, right? I'm going Pokemon Sapphire over Pokemon Ruby by this much. But Emerald over both. Gen 4, Diamond over Pearl. Gen 5, White over Black. But Black 2 over White 2. Gen 6, X over Y. Gen 7, Sun over Moon. Gen 8, Sword over Shield. Gen 9, Violet over Scarlet. And I'm done. 9 for 9. 9 for 9. There we go. I'm actually not confident about Violet over Scarlet. The prehistoric Parallelmons are really, really cool. Alright, and then Vivillon. I know I have a Vivillon. Oh man, Shino! Dang, I feel kind of bad now. Shino was one of the first mons I got on the journey. But then I got an Alpha Whirlipede, evolved into a Scolipede, and I was like, I don't need 2 bug types on my team. Maybe I'll pick up Shino one day and train him again. But let's see who is next on our Pokédex. Weedle. Oh, wow, look at that. Weedle's in the perfect spot. Kakuna. I'm pretty sure I have a Beedrill. If I don't, it won't be hard. Yeah, I do. Pidgey, I just saw. I think I actually just swapped him with Beedrill. This is the somewhat boring part of the live decks when you already have a bunch of these mons, so you don't really get to go out and try to catch them. But let's see. Pidgeotto. I don't think I have a Pidgeot actually. I don't have a Pidgeot. All right. We could evolve one, but let's go find one. I think there's an alpha somewhere. There's a lot of mods in this zone. I'm looking for the alpha Pidgeot, because that'll guarantee a spawn every time. Let me see here. I'll just search it up. Why are there 2 games for each gen? We just went through that. 2 games for each gen to force you to interact with other players, pretty much, right? So rather than having everything available in one game, what they do is they split some stuff into one game, some stuff into the other, because a big part of the Pokemon games is to be able to trade Pokemon and battle Pokemon. If they just give you everything in one game, what's the incentive to do that? I collect Pokemon cards. I was just never in the game as much. I used to collect cards a long time ago. My card collection is probably somewhere in my dad's garage. Alright, here we go. Section... Zone District, Section 4, Rooftops. Oh, there's like an alpha map here. That's actually kind of fire. Wait a minute. Yeah, alright. Zone District, Section 4. Alright, let's head to this rooftop. Supposedly, like, right around here. Cool. Take that elevator. To answer your question, favorite type is rock. Not a bad type. Fun fact. I don't know if y'all knew this. If you were to make a Pokemon that contained every single type, so all 18 types, right? Yeah. Because I know, not including the stellar type from terrestrialization. So 18 types. The only type that it would be weak to is rock. Everything else would end up canceling itself out, except for eventually, when you put wow, wait, I went the wrong way. How did I end up here? What? Yeah. If you were to make a Pokemon with every single Pokemon type, they would all eventually cancel them out. So, like, for example, you know, fire would be weak to water, but then also being part grass type, it would cancel out that water weakness and go neutral. But, okay, yeah, I went that way because I just went to the first elevator. I saw not the right one. But, yeah, the only or the only type that it would not resist or be immune to, for that matter, is rock. Probably, like, on a perch somewhere. There it is. And he brought friends. Alright, mob. Let's do it. I wonder if I can just, like, toss this. Hail Mary it. Can't hurt, right? Got a back strike, too. Dang it. Alright. Guess we're doing it the hard way. 42. I'm impressed at surviving, I will say that. This Pidgey is kind of a thorn in the side. Not going to get very far just using agility, though. He lived. That's not enraged anymore. Let's try this one more time. There we go. Pidgeot. XP candy. Okay. Pidgeot has been captured. Search for it. Oh, it's in my party. Duh, right, I forgot I kept that that open slot in my party for that exact reason, actually. Okay, there we go. Next up, Mareep. I have an Ampharos. I don't know if I have a Mareep. I know where to find one. It's also in the first Wild Zone. I don't have a Mareep. Alright, back to Wild Zone 1. Maybe it is Dark type, not because they're good, because they always look the coolest out of everything. Type besides fire and sometimes electricity. Fair enough, fair enough. Y'all can probably tell what my favorite type is based on my character appearance. Dark types actually are, fun fact about dark types. Dark types, along with steel types, were not in the original Pokemon games. They were introduced in Gen 2, in Gold and Silver. And they were created as a direct counter to the Psychic type. Prior to Generation 2, the Psychic type only had two weaknesses, being Ghost and Bug. But if I'm not mistaken, I think there was some sort of glitch, actually, which, like, kind of made like some psychic types like immune to I have to look it up. But yeah, there was like some sort of glitch in the earlier games, I believe, that made psychic types accidentally like immune to ghost attacks instead of weak to them. So the really only weakness was bug. And the bug types in Gen 1, the only really strong ones, they had like Pinsir. And the only bug type move, I forget what it was like bug bite or something like that. There were like 2 bug type moves. So yeah, psychic types were ridiculously overpowered in the first games. So what they did was they created the dark type, which is not only obviously strong against psychic, but is completely immune to psychic type attacks. And then, why do I have a Pichu in my party? I caught a Mareep. Did I catch a Pichu first? Am I tripping, or did I not just catch a Mareep? Wait a minute. Was I did catch a Mareep. How did Pichu end up in my party? I might have caught the Pichu first by accident. Did he just run in front of my Pokeball and I wasn't paying attention? Or did I swap it? I think I swapped it with the Pidgeot. Right. Yeah. Okay. That's what happened. I forgot to create an open slot. But yeah, psychic type was crazy overpowered, and so they created the dark type and the steel type to balance that out. Alright. Flaffy. Favorite Pokemon from Gen 1 is Onix. Onix is a strong Mon. Shout out Brock. Carrying on from that fun fact about Psychic, Dark, and Steel types, you just reminded me with Onix. Prior to, like I said, prior to Gen 2, Steel and Dark types didn't exist. That also means that Pokemon that were evolutions of Gen 1 Mons did not exist in the early games, which sounds obvious, but given how far we've come, it kind of is crazy to imagine like Onix was a final evolution. There was no Steelix, or you didn't have Umbreon as a possible evolution for Eevee, stuff like that. All right, where's Flaffy? I don't have a Flaffy. All right, I know where to find one. I actually know exactly where to find it. No, I don't. Yes, I do. I just don't know the name of the wild zone. It's the one with the Alpha Ampharos. Oh, it's not 12. It's the one where I found Phalanx. This one, yeah. How many Pokemon will it take to beat all of Dragon Ball? One. I'm not gonna lie. Pokemon scaling is insane. Genuinely, like it rivals like comic book scaling almost in terms of how nuts it is. If you go off like just Pokédex entries for Pokemon, like let me see if I can it's been a while since I've actually taken the time to go through Pokédex entries, but if I can just find one, let's look up a stronger Mon here that I have captured. Let's do somebody like, all right, not even a stronger Mon. Let's do Litwick, okay? Litwick is a ghost and fire type Pokemon. It is a ghost, right? What does being a ghost in the Pokemonverse mean? That means that you are immune to fighting type and normal type attacks. In other words, physical attacks. Only elemental attacks can hit you. What does this mean? This means that Goku or any Z fighter for that matter cannot punch a Pokemon. Cannot punch this Litwick. Now, if we go into the Litwick Pokédex entry, okay, nothing interesting on this one. There we go. Lampent, though. When it evolves, it is still a ghost type, meaning that it is immune to physical attacks, and it can absorb spirits from bodies. Now, I'm not saying that a Lampent is enough to defeat the Pokemonverse. What I am saying is that if a Pokemon that is immune to physical attacks and can steal souls from bodies is considered relatively weak in the Pokemonverse, I don't think our Z fighters, unfortunately, have a strong chance. Then when you get into the fact that there are Pokemon that can very easily, alter reality, control time and space, literally, there's like God in the Pokemonverse. Outside of people like maybe Zeno, right? I think if Zeno instantly detected the Pokemonverse as a threat and erased them before they could do anything, that's the Dragon Ball versus best chance. But if it gets down to combat, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, like, and we have Pokemon that can grant wishes, too. That's another crazy one. A Pokemon that can grant any wish. Multiple Pokemon, actually, that are known to grant wishes. So imagine if you just had, like, an unlimited supply of Shenrons. And that's what you're dealing with. Is Pichu is still in my box, man. Kirby solos. If Kirby could absorb something. Can't Kirby only absorb one thing at a time, though, in most iterations? So, I mean, he'd have to choose something strong to absorb. But even then, the question becomes, how does Kirby even get to that point, you know? Alright, I know I have an Ampharos besides Kashimo. That's Kash. That's Ampharos. Alright, next. Patrat. I have a Patrat. Watchog. I know I have one of those. I have two, really. Is one an alpha? One is an alpha. For those of you who are not familiar with the concept of alpha Pokemon, they are relatively new, introduced in the Legend series games, being like the open world Pokemon games. And alpha Pokemon are both larger than regular Pokemon of their size, and they also know a move that Pokemon of their size. What is Riolu? Did I accidentally nickname a Riolu? Or did somebody trade this to me? Where did I get Riolu from? Wait, Ah, okay, I must have traded this during some sort of side quest. Okay, next is Badoo. I have one of those, actually, so I don't even know why I exited the box. Most of these I'm going to already have, just because I've completed all the wild zones. So that makes my job a lot easier. I don't think I have a Roselia. Do I? I might. I do. And a Roserade. Alright. We are officially in box 2. Roserade. Magikarp. I have an alpha. Alright, Magikarp. Two alpha Magikarps. Why am I in, here we go. Gyarados. I know I have one of those. Gotta have a Gyarados, man. This thing used to give me nightmares in my first ever Pokemon Diamond playthrough. Piccolo moves mountains with his mind? I mean, yeah, cool. So this Pokemon behind me, right, has the right? We're talking about moving stuff with his mind. Pokemon behind me has the psychic power to essentially reshape the universe, right? Y'all have to understand, and this is coming from a diehard Dragon Ball fan who will argue Dragon Ball solos just about any verse. It's not touching the Pokemon verse. It's not touching the Pokemon verse. Matter of fact, to put it in better perspective, Binacle Barbaracle next. Let me show you guys something right here, because I think this might change y'all's minds. Show y'all two things that I think would GT destroys any fiction? I guess. Alright, here we go. And then we have that. They ain't touching Capsule Corp Goku. I mean, unfortunately, they would still like Capsule Corp Goku is not a challenge like that. All right, so what I wanted to show y'all, just to put into perspective here, was this. Boom. So this is the Pokédex entry for this Pokemon right here, Magcargo. Magcargo is a fire and rock Pokemon. It's a relatively weak Pokemon too, actually, all things considered. But if we read this Pokédex entry right here, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit for y'all. Sorry about this ad. Let me see if I can close that too. Never mind. All right, here we go. All right, thank you, Google, for the ad. All right, zoom back out. Here we go. Magcargo's body temperature is approximately 18,000 degrees Fahrenheit, right? So, this Pokemon, 18,000 degrees Fahrenheit. I ain't reading all that. You're not, or you can't. 18,000 degrees Fahrenheit, right? So that makes it around, right, the temperature, or it makes it higher than the temperature of the core of the sun, right? Or the surface of the sun, sorry. Core is a lot hotter, but the surface of the sun is around 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This Pokemon right here, Magcargo, is considerably hotter than that, right? So keep that in mind. This Pokemon is hotter than the surface of the sun. Now what I'm going to show you is everybody's favorite movie villain, Cooler, dying when he gets launched into the sun by Goku's attack. Right? So let's keep that in mind. Let's keep that in mind. A Pokemon that is much hotter than the surface of the sun, and a Dragon Ball character who, despite being stronger than Frieza, at least Namek Frieza, right? Despite being stronger than Namek Frieza, and being around or on par with somebody like Goku, gets taken out by the surface of the sun. Super Saiyan 4 Goku can handle Sun easily, said to him fighting over Shenron. I mean, sure, but again, this is a weak Pokemon, right? He can handle the sun, sure, he can handle a weak Pokemon. Additionally, yeah, non-canon, I mean, we can call GT non-canon, but for the sake of this, we'll say that it is canon. Then you have Pokemon that can just rewrite reality, right? At that point, only Zeno can stop them. But because we don't really have any battle feats for Zeno, hard to say whether or not he could actually, you know, pose a threat in combat. Goku's Kamehameha, not the sun. I mean, it's literally the sun. You see him burning up. It is the sun, but sure. Binacle. I don't have a Binacle. Oh, no, I do. Okay. Canon because Japan and Toei Akira doesn't deal with canon, only the West? That's new. I have never heard that before. Wait, what do you mean Akira doesn't deal with canon? Like Akira Toriyama? Like the creator of Dragon Ball doesn't? The dude who wrote the story? Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Alright, now we need the evolution here. Japan doesn't do the canon. I'm not gonna lie, Dan. I don't know where you heard that, but what's canon or what's not to a story isn't dependent on where the story comes from, outside of whether or not it comes from the author's main story. Am I saying Goku's only cooler level? I'm not saying Goku's only cooler level. What I'm saying is that even weaker Pokemon are able to output power levels that have been shown to be effective against the likes of Cooler, right? So what I'm saying is that if weaker Pokemon are on the end of guys like Cooler, stronger Pokemon are like far past, Beerus level at this point. Keep in mind, there's also only one of every Dragon Ball character. There's millions, if not billions, of Pokemon. So when we talk about how many Pokemon versus the Dragon Ball verse, as many as they need as well, too, Glaze. Alright, I'm glad that we're all intellectuals here and can effectively point out flaws in each other's arguments. Star you and I have a star me. Goku kills most of them in 2 shots. I mean, sure, yeah, that's correct, right? Goku would in fact defeat most Pokemon, but that wasn't the question. The question wasn't how many Pokemon could Goku defeat. The question is how many Pokemon would it take to defeat the Dragon Ball verse? To which the answer is not a lot, because again, right? Yes, you have guys like, Goku, Beerus that are faster than light, literally can destroy multiple galaxies, universes. You have Pokemon that rewrite literally the fabric of reality, rewrite everything, right? So for example, Goku versus Goku and Vegeta versus Goku Black Zamasu. Zamasu got to the point where he literally merged with the very fabric of the universe and could not be defeated outside of getting Zenu to literally erase him, right? There are Pokemon that very easily create and erase universes like that. So imagine just, you got a bunch of Zenos walking around, right? A bunch of Zenos just doing whatever they feel like. Goku is outer versal. I want you to tell me what outer versal means, and then we'll continue. I don't have a Flabébé? Oh, okay. I was like, I forget that they don't sort it by, when you do the search, they don't sort it by evolution lines. So I see like 2 of one evolution line, but not the other. I'm like, there's no way I didn't catch one of those. Floette. I know I have a Floette and a Florges. Florges. Probably Florges, right? Flower Gorgeous. I'll search for the Florges first and I'll find the Floette after. Wet. Oh, it was already in the box. I should have looked a little harder. Skiddo and Go-Goat. Pretty sure I have a Go-Goat. I actually don't know if I have a Skiddo. I do have a Skiddo. If Beers goes to the Pokemonverse, he's going into Pokeball? Most likely. I'm not gonna lie, most likely. There's also the problem, right? I think one of the biggest issues that the Dragon Ball verse would have is ghost types too. Ghost types are immune to all physical attacks. They can only be damaged using elemental attacks. And Dragon Ball, I mean, we have some characters that have been shown to use, some attacks that might resemble fire or might resemble lightning in some forms, but most characters don't even have access to any elemental powers at all. So then you have Pokemon like that Lampent, right? That can't be damaged by any means of attacks that most of the Z fighters have access to, and can take souls from their bodies. At best, it would be a stalemate in that case, unless you have characters that have elemental abilities. So, I mean, if you have, for example, Frieza, you could say Supernova is a fire type attack. I'll give you that. I could say that Frieza could probably hurt ghost types. But then again, that's just Frieza, right? What's Frieza gonna do when you have the other mons come in that he also has to deal with? I think a better question, what team of Dragon Ball characters would you put together to take on the Pokemonverse? I think that would be the bigger challenge, not how many Pokemon would it take to defeat the Dragon Ball verse. Because for me, I mean, you gotta go Zeno, right? I'd probably go Zeno. You have to have a team pretty much of Zeno and Gods or Angels. Probably go with Gods for their destructive abilities. Beings are concepts that are beyond the structure of our dimension, space, and time. No. What does Outerversal mean to you, Gogeta Glazer? Don't look up Outerversal and Versus Battle Wiki, copy and paste the definition. If we're going to have the conversation about Goku being Outerversal, I want to know, what does Outerversal mean to you in the context of this fight? Right? What does that mean? Goku is base multiverse. Goku is very high multiverse and base alone. Again, what does that mean in the context of this fight? I'm not asking you to copy and paste stuff from Versus Battle forums. I am asking, what does that mean? What can he do, right? So let's say Goku, beyond all concepts of space and time and this, that, and the other, right? Does that mean that Goku is immune to time-stopping attacks? Right? No, because Hit's time skip works on him. Is he immune to existence erasure attacks? No, because he had to escape the timeline with Goku Black in it when Zeno erased it. Does that mean that Goku can manipulate space or time or anything like that? Right? Like, what does that mean in the context of the fight? Oh shoot, wait. There's a mon I'm looking for right there. Esper. Why do I have a level 7 Esper just chilling here? Either way, very convenient. Oh, I have to get a male and a female Meowstic, don't I? Because there's 2 variations. Alright. Alright, so the rule is, I think I'm going to get, if there's like drastic differences between the male and female versions of mons, I'm going to try to get both. So let's see, where can I get a male Meowstic from? Or any Meowstic, I guess. Probably get equal odds of spawning both. Wild Zone 9, let's do it. Yes, Goku is immune to universal racial attacks and can control time and space and such. Goku had to push himself into the future to be on a level with Hit. So Goku had to push himself and do something that he doesn't normally do, right? Access an ability or do something that he doesn't normally do to be on the same level with somebody whose sole time power is time skip. Now my question is, what is Goku going to do against somebody who literally controls the flow of time? Right? It's not that, and here's where I think the disconnect is. It's not that I'm downscaling the Dragon Ball verse. It's that I'm upscaling the Pokemon verse based on what we know about Pokemon. So yes, right? Like, for example, Goku's speed feats are impressive. Hit's time skip is impressive. It's just not impressive in the context of what we've seen even weaker members of the Pokemon verse be able to do. Like the ability to see into the future and to, you know, move through time in ways that your opponent normally can't detect, that is basic level stuff for a lot of Pokemon. That's the point that I'm trying to hammer in, right? So something like time skip, even though a Pokemon might not necessarily be able to one-shot Goku, if something like a time skip is enough to even, you know, trip him up for a little bit and force him to find different, something like total time manipulation, he's just not going to stand a chance against. Alright, did I go in the wrong entrance of the Wild Zone? I must have. How many entrances are there? I'm gonna try that entrance over there on that side. Dragonite is faster than Goku. Is that true? I don't know about Dragonite being faster than Goku. I will say Dragon Ball speed feats are pretty nuts. In fact, crazier than a lot of people give them credit for. And I've broken that down a bunch of times, but I always love doing it, so happy to again. But yeah, Dragon Ball does have crazy speed feats. But again, right, then there's also the issue of type matchups too. Of course, since Dragon Ball characters aren't Pokemon, we can't really assign typings to any of their attacks, which is why, you know, I stuck with just ghost types and being immune to physical attacks. Ki Blast, if we were to give a type, that's another thing too, right? You kind of have to give, I mean, that's like the first rule of power scaling, is that you have to assume that each verse, if it's different verses, each verse obeys the laws of each other. So if we were to give Dragon Ball characters types, I mean, can only have 2 types max. And there's counters to everything too. It's been so long since I've done this Wild Zone, I'm like genuinely confused. Why are there no Pokemon here? Ah, okay. Is this like, is it all on the roof? I might be misremembering, but Dragonite is supposed to be super fast and so they carry the mail. I mean, I know Dragonite is fast. I'm just questioning whether Dragonite is like massively, massively faster than Light, you know? Because you have to remember, Goku himself, along with anybody who knows the afterimage technique in OG Dragon Ball, has been moving at least faster than light speed since they were like 12 years old. And have likely just gotten, you know, bounds, leaps and bounds faster than that ever since. But I'm looking for a Meowstic. This is a female one. Is it always a female Meowstic here? Is my question? Or can I reset the Wild Zone for male? Let me look at the Wild Zone stats. Him just charging up his key. Vegeta broke the time chamber. The time chamber is its own time chamber. For Vegeta to do that, you need to break. Time chamber is a different dimension. It's not time. It's space. That's a spatial feat, which is still very impressive. Definitely a huge feat. But that's a spatial feat, not a time one. Why is it a spatial feat? Because flow of time is controlled by gravity. Alright, it's still a female Meowstic. Is it always a female, the alpha then? Do I have to evolve a male Esper? Is that what I have to do? Let me check my boxes real quick. Do I have a male Esper? There's one right there. Do I have another is the question. I do not. Alright. Guess we're gonna go find another Esper. What does every Pokemon here want to fight? Night is falling over the city. Three. Alright. Catch another male Esper, evolve it real quick. Nah, it's a time feat. What makes you think it's a time feat? Because I can tell you how the time chamber works right there, right now. The time chamber is pretty much a portal, right? It's a portal that transports you to a dimension where time flows differently. So by breaking the time chamber, right? That's why if you destroy the entrance, you can't get back because you're in a different dimension. It has nothing to do with time itself being distorted. You are literally in a different dimension. So by breaking the time chamber, you're essentially shattering that barrier between dimensions. It's a space feat. It's an impressive space feat, but it's a space feat. It's called the time chamber because time flow. Oh my god. Oh my. Okay. All right. Let me give you a real world example. One week in the time chamber, or 1 week on Earth is equivalent to 1 year in the time chamber, right? Something like that. 1 week on Earth is 1 year in the time chamber. So if you train for a year in the time chamber, only 1 week has passed on Earth. Did you know, right? Did you know that similarly, in fact, let me, because I'm this is about to be like scientific. I'm gonna give you the exact numbers. Did you know that 1 day on Mars is actually 40 minutes longer than 1 day on Earth? Right? No. Right. My question to you is, do you think time travel happens on Mars? Or anywhere where a day passes, or any time frame passes differently than it does on Earth, right? You know who else broke the time chamber? Both Gotenks and Super Boo. What's going on, Saiyan Spirit? You think you're a bigger Dragon Ball fan than me, and you can scale better than me because you have a lot ahead of you? Well, no, I think I'm a bigger Dragon Ball fan than you because I've consumed the content you haven't. But no, time just moves faster. Okay. Anyways, what's going on, Saiyan Spirit? How are you doing? Time just moves. It just does. It just does. Sure. Vegeta Super should have done a time loop when he powered up instead of just breaking out. Well, the reason why is because the time chamber is just a portal, right? It's a dimension where time moves differently than on Earth. So breaking through the time chamber is shattering the barrier between dimensions. We saw Boo do it, we saw Gotenks do it. Uploading the finale as we speak, so pretty good. Gotta check that out. But it's not a wait a minute. It's not about who's a bigger Dragon Ball fan though. They didn't break it, just ripped a hole in it. Ah, right. Vegeta broke all of it. Okay. Again, right? You are continually assuming that I am downscaling Dragon Ball. And here's how I know that you're assuming that I'm downscaling Dragon Ball. Because you haven't yet given me an argument for Dragon Ball characters to be able to take down the Pokemon verse. All you've done is throw, right, albeit impressive, I will give you, they are impressive feats. All you've done is throw Dragon Ball feats at me. Nothing that you have said thus far has answered the question of how many Pokemon it would take to defeat the Dragon Ball verse, or anything that has to do with, you know, how much trouble the Dragon Ball characters would have, or how much trouble Pokemon would have. You just keep throwing feats at me for Vegeta, which again are impressive, but I genuinely, like, I don't know how else to tell you that is child's play for the Pokemon verse. You know, like it's and it you know, it didn't. I'm sorry, but it is. For example, right, the Pokemon Dialga. Pokemon Dialga is known as the god of time in the Pokemon verse, has full control over time itself. So can rewind time, stop time, fast forward time, travel through time, full control over time. Can instantly age the world so everybody dies or revert it so everybody's a baby, do whatever it wants. Dialga can do that at using only its avatar. The avatars of the Pokemon gods are literally less than 1,000th of their full power. Forgot her name, but they're not getting past that one gag character. I mean, I'll wait for you to remember her name, I guess. I'm not sure who you're referring to. And also, right, Pokemon is kind of like, has gag characters too. I mean, it's not a very serious anime. When you think about all the times that the characters should have died but are just saved by anime and cartoon logic. Are you talking about the Dr. Slump character who's canon to the Dragon Ball verse? Just gotta come over here. Pokemon is not anime. Alright. Conversation is over. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, conversation is over. I have nothing nice left to say. Conversation is over. Certainly we'll be taking a screenshot, but yeah, conversation's done. Anyways, though, back to my original question. Why do you come on here to argue stuff that you don't know anything about? Like, I still don't get that, you know? Like, is it fun? Is it, like... Right, because even if, right, let's say you really don't like me and you just really want to see me lose a debate and you want to be the one to do it. I don't know why. I'm not a debating YouTuber. I don't really cover debates. But you let's say hypothetically, right? You really don't like me and your way of getting at me, you want to beat me in a debate. Why not debate something that you know more about? Why? Get the Pokemon Burst past my hero. Sure. Sure. Oh my god, you're funny. You're funny. Yeah, no. No. Man is always about them Gohan haters. Like, what? Oh my god. You're a strange one, Super Saga. You're an odd one. You're a strange one. I don't know. I know I said that if you popped back in here I would ban you, but you technically haven't said anything racist or made any death threats yet, and I don't know. Clearly, getting attention in the stream does something for you, so you're welcome. I don't know. So I guess just feel free to stay in here, chill out, whatever. My hero has good hacks, I know. Unlike you, I've also read the entirety of MHA. You want to know, right, Gogeta Glazer? You want to know, and I'm going to give you, right, the secret to why I know so much about all these series, right? And a lot of y'all don't. I've seen them. Plain and simple. I have seen them. I have seen them. I've read them, right? And when I say I've seen them, I mean start to finish, full episodes, full chapters. I don't mean Goku versus Jiren parts 1 through 20 on TikTok. I don't mean, you know, seeing a versus battle that included screenshots of the Dragon Ball manga. I mean, I've seen these series. And so long as y'all's sources are always going to be chopped up bits and pieces that other people have presented to you, whereas I have, you know, literally consumed the source content, you're at a disadvantage, you know? Like, and that's why when I say, like, I don't know how else to explain it to you, is because I can very easily tell when I'm no longer, you know, discussing things about the series back and forth, and it's switched to me literally teaching you things about the series. Right? Once I start teaching you things about the series, that's when I say, okay, the conversation can't go on anymore. Because it's like, you know? Alright, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. Hope it doesn't move on to the next day. Wait, I just realized the Pokemon when you said Pokemon is not an anime, I just realized that's even funnier because you were probably so serious too. Like you probably genuinely like did not know that Pokemon exists as a Japanese anime and manga series, including the games as well. Started out as games, but very much exists as an anime and manga series. Get Pokemon past Minecraft Steve creator mode. I assume you mean Minecraft. Sure. Yeah, no. Another pro tip. I'm giving you, I hope you have your notepad out today, Super Saga. I hope you have your notepad, because I'm actually giving you like a lot of free game right now. More free game, right? I'm 26 years old. I'm a grown man. The things that rage bait you are not going to rage bait me. Right? You're saying like, get Pokemon past Pal World, get Pokemon past Minecraft Steve. One, like I know you're trolling. Two, even if you weren't trolling, right, or if you were 100% correct, what do I care? like, is the idea here that it's going to bother me that somebody thinks that Minecraft Steve defeats the Pokemon characters? Get them past Sun Wukong? Maybe. Honestly, that's probably the best versus matchup that you've given today. Sun Wukong versus the Pokemon verse. I think you can make a very solid argument for Sun Wukong defeating the Pokemon verse. You said you think Gohan is better than Piccolo? Cool. I've actually said like many times too that the Gohan hate is also a joke. Like once again, I'm a grown man. I go outside. I have friends. I talk to people. Like there exists no universe where an anime debate rage bait is going to like have a serious effect on me, unfortunately. In fact, there exists no verse, in fact, where anything said to me online is going to affect me. Because it's online. And I know that the stuff that matters doesn't exist online, let alone on my gaming YouTube channel. So it's an age thing, right? It's definitely an age thing, because when I was, 13, 14, I also cared a lot more about what people were saying to me online than I do now. But yeah, like you're not gonna get me that way. Getting Pokemon past FNAF. I'm not too familiar with the FNAF verse, so I can't speak on that. You can. Do you want me to do it with you? I can do it with you. Let me think. What's a funny one? Get Pokemon past the Backyardigans first. Let me think. What's another verse? What's another verse? Get Pokemon past Dora the Explorer. I'm just thinking, I'm like, what are weak verses? First thing I think is like kids shows. I don't know. Get Dora past, I want to say like SpongeBob. Past Doomslayer. Again, I'm not familiar with that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a video game where you battle fictional monsters, dude. Like, I don't know. You're an interesting one. You are definitely an interesting one, Super Saga. I don't know what your end goal is, nor do I know what you want from me. I guess whatever it is, you're still here, so I guess you're getting it. But yeah, I don't know. Alright, let's see what we got next. Your channel is dying. One of my live got 63 views. Yeah, it is getting less views. Been less consistent with my stream, so makes sense. Alright, let's see what's next. Oh wait, I'm looking at the right. Yeah, we're on our Meowstic. That's what we're trying to do. All right, Wild Zone 9. No, it was 3. What am I in Wild Zone 9 for? Wild Zone 3. And now Maldora has that magic backpack. Get them past Curious George. Maybe. You're still going with the get them past thing, and I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know. Ah, okay. There's one over there. I just need anyone, to be honest. It doesn't have to be another male one, because I have a male one. I can always evolve it. I forgot they. Alright. I have to reel in. Yeah, since they're, they get scared away easily. Oh, I missed. Catch. Nice. Alright, what level does Esper evolve into Meowstic? 25. Do I have enough to get this level 25? You know what? Rather than do that, I'll go to Wild Zone 20, knock out a few mons, and then I'll feed it the XP candies. And that should be good enough. Get them past Death Battle scaling. Is there anything else you want me to try and get the Pokemon verse past? Although that does raise a question for me to all of y'all, not just to Super Saga. I'm trying to figure out the right way to ask it. Oops, wrong move. Do y'all consider me somebody with, like, I don't know. Like, do y'all consider, like, being an anime YouTube? I don't know. I don't know how to ask it. Like, do you think I'm, like, an authority on... Because I genuinely don't consider myself, like, an authority on anime or versus battles or stuff like that. Nor is it really deep to me if a verse that I like loses to another one. That matter of fact, that might be pin worthy. I can't even lie, bro. I'm gonna be thinking about that for a long time. That is funny. Yeah, that might be pin worthy. Four more levels. I don't have a lot of candies right now. Use some of them. The reason I don't want to battle the Megas either is because or not the Megas, the Alphas, because I'd rather catch them. But you know, the Dragon Ball Pokemon, never heard you talk about much about the verses. Yeah, I mean, those are definitely two verses that I would say that I know. Actually, not even Pokemon, to be honest. I know about the games, the main series games and the Legends games, but and then I've seen I don't even think I've seen most of the anime, to be honest. It's been a long time too, and I haven't read the manga. That's another thing too that we could explore at another time in terms of like how strong the Pokemon verse is. Everything that I was given, or almost everything that I was giving, was strictly off the games. Meaning like Pokedex entries and stuff that happened in verse in the games. Obviously, like legendary Pokemon feats and stuff, that'll be mostly in the anime. But yeah, I wonder like what's shown in the manga and stuff like that too. But yeah, it's interesting. All right, there we go, level 25. It's interesting because I'm learning, right? I'm learning, and and I'm still trying to figure out like, how do you like bring this up? I'm learning that a lot of fans of series, particularly younger fans, quite literally have not like consumed the series in the form of episode to episode or chapter to chapter. It's literally social media and content creators, which is, I don't think that's entirely a bad thing, right? I think we all grew up watching our favorite creators discuss our favorite series. I know when I was younger, right, new Naruto chapter came out, instantly go on YouTube, Naruto chapter, blah 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 reaction. I think there does become an issue though when we look at these people and these platforms as our primary sources rather than actually, you know, consuming directly from the source. I think what often happens is that we lose things like author's intent, and we lose even you know, small tidbits of character journeys can be lost to this way. But I think the biggest, by far the biggest negative side effect of that would be that because, you know, these third parties, being social media and content creators, are now considered primary sources for the material, that opens up pretty much any third party to be a primary source. So for a lot of people, right, I said a lot of people have only consumed series in the form of like content creators and TikTok. Some people literally only know stuff from comment sections. It's like it's actually kind of like it's almost concerning, you know, the amount of times that I've opened up let's say a TikTok comment section, like a Twitter thread, where people are discussing a series, and it just replies on replies of, oh, I heard that this happened, I heard that blah 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 blah, oh no, that didn't actually happen, I heard that was actually a mistranslation, or I heard that this is actually what was meant by it. And it's like, you hear so many I heard. Go watch it, go read it. You know, I mean, I always tell y'all, right? I might be an agenda pusher, but I'm not a liar, right? That's why I say I don't do slander. I think slander involves stretching the truth to push an agenda. I don't stretch the truth, right? Y'all might notice that. Like, for example, my little Gohan hate bit. Never made up anything about Gohan. Never said Gohan has ever done anything outside of the whole, obviously, the stuff that was obviously jokes, right? Gohan working with the Red Ribbon Army, Cell inside job. But I never made up anything that Gohan didn't do. And so I think that's where a lot of the time the disconnect comes from, when I get, you know, people that come into my chat or whatever, and they're angry at my takes, which is fair, right? I don't think everybody has to agree with me. I'm not that full of myself. But I think a reason why a lot of the time people get angry at my takes is because they think that I'm just forming baseless opinions based on stuff that I've heard or seen from others, right? Because a lot of the time that's how, like I said, that's how they consume the series. So because they form their opinions on just, you know, being in the mix but not actually consuming the content, they assume that I also am not in the mix and just sort of decided, you know, based on rumors and tidbits and whatever, to like or dislike a character, like or dislike a series. This is not the case. Where's my other Pyroar? I was just there. Switch them around, put the mama next to the cub. Pancham and Pangoro. Now, what I will do, I'm gonna do this especially. I'm gonna do this just for you, Super Saga. I'm gonna give you some counters to my anti-Gohan argument. So again, take out your pen and paper. I'm gonna give you some great counters to my anti-Gohan argument, right? Let's start with, how about this, right? Malk, you say that Gohan is extremely selfish because while guys like Goku and Vegeta and Piccolo are constantly training to be ready to put their life on the line, Gohan, he just decides to slack off and study, and it ends up costing the team. Right? And then you could say, well, Malk, have you ever considered that maybe the other Z fighters let Gohan do that? Have you ever considered that Gohan has enough respect for guys like his dad and like Piccolo that if they really wanted Gohan to join the team, it wouldn't take a lot for them to convince him to do so? So therefore, while yes, you could say that Gohan should be training with everybody, does it not also make sense to say that why don't the Z fighters kind of motivate him a little bit more? Right? Gohan, he might be young, but he's not dumb. Gohan can definitely understand danger. I think it would be fair to say that Goku, Gohan's own dad or Piccolo, could very easily say, Gohan, I know you don't want to be a scholar, and I promise you there's going to be time to study, but you're our best shot at whooping Black Frieza. Lock in, and it could be done. Pancham based on my least favorite animals, my least favorite Pokemon. Why are pandas your least favorite animal? Dang! You might be the first person I've ever met who doesn't like pandas. Are you Tai Lung from Kung Fu Panda? Is that you? Were you supposed to be the Dragon Warrior? Oops. Or, right, another counter argument, you can say that a lot of the things that I blame Gohan for are not necessarily his fault. You could say, for example, right, could blame Gohan for getting cocky against Cell, and Cell eventually, blows himself up to try to rage quit and gets Goku killed and King Kai. But the argument could also be made, why was Gohan even there in the first place, right? It's an age-old argument that has been debated many times, but I still think it's a fairly solid one, is that Goku absolutely should not have tapped out and thrown in his 12-year-old son to go fight that monster. You can make a very strong argument that if it really was that dire, which it was because Cell clearly had every intention of blowing up the planet, it should have been on Goku as the leader of the Z Fighters to say, guys, we're not going to play by Cell's game. We're going to fight this guy however many of them there were, 8-on-1, not give him the satisfaction of a 1v1. But, Goku, being a Saiyan, played right into it. And knowing his own Saiyan tendencies, or at least we hope that he's learned his own Saiyan tendencies to some degree by now, right? Goku, knowing his own Saiyan tendencies, should also know, and knowing how he was at, Gohan's age. Granted, Gohan and Goku are very different growing up, but at least knowing that, young Saiyan boys can be very impulsive and kind of, go a little too far, should have known, all things considered, maybe it's not just strength that matters in terms of who's fighting Cell. There's another pro Gohan defense argument for you. And back on my point, because this is actually kind of important to me. On my point of people not consuming series through episodes and chapters and stuff like that, I'm not out of touch to the point where I don't understand that stuff costs money. I was a kid too. I know that it's hard when you don't have any money of your own because again you're young. A lot of you guys probably are not even old enough to get a job, so you're not going to have your own money for a few years now, and it's hard to convince your parents, hey, can you buy me a Crunchyroll subscription? Can I get a Viz Media subscription for something that only you're going to use, right? In most households, I feel like parents pay for subscriptions that the whole family uses, Netflix, cable, whatever it is. So I get that. It's hard to find stuff, and price is often a common barrier. What I will tell y'all, though, that stuff is out there. You got to look for it. You don't have to look hard, but it's out there. That being said, watch it for free. Read it for free. The Manga Plus app by Shueisha is available and is free and does have every chapter of a lot of series, Dragon Ball included. Some stuff will be unavailable just because it is a free app, but they cycle it pretty often too, between what's available and what's not. All right, Pikachu, Classic Mon. Do I have a Pikachu? Are we for real? I don't have a Pikachu. Huh. That's crazy. Okay. I must have evolved into a Raichu. Then this must have been what happened. Oh no, wait. I think I traded it. Don't you catch a Pikachu and then trade it for a Heracross? So I think that's what happened. But yeah, what I was gonna say is, right, if y'all ever, want to consume a series, whether anime or manga, but you don't know where to find it, I can find y'all affordable legal sources for these series. Emphasis on legal, meaning that, not infringing any copyright. I don't want y'all to steal from these publishers or anything, or any of these animators or anybody that works hard on providing it for us. But there's always something on somewhere. That's what I'm gonna say. There's always something on somewhere. I'm gonna catch this one too in case we don't have a Raichu. It's still being scouted. Oh, it's another Pikachu. All right, boxes. Pichu. Pikachu. Move that quick too. Right. Oh, do I only have the Alolan one? Right, yeah, because I did that side quest where if you beat an Alolan Raichu with a normal one, you get the Alolan one. That's fine. Put that there. Oh man, now I'm wondering. Shoot. I did not account for regional forms. Alright, maybe what I'll do, I'm going to see how many regional forms are in the game. If there's so few that I can just put them in a separate box titled regional forms, that'll be a lot easier. So Galarian Slowpoke line, Alolan Raichu line, Galarian Stunfisk line. Ah, okay. Oh, and then you can do home transfer for Hisuian forms of Avalugg, Sliggoo, Goodra. And then apparently the Mega Dimension DLC will have Alolan Marowak, Galarian Mr. Mime, and Galarian Meowth. Okay, cool. You know what? We're good then. Because we haven't even gotten to the Slowpoke line yet. Cool. So that works. Let me find that other Pikachu, evolve it into a Raichu real quick. Party first, then we evolve into a Raichu. Where am I? What does it have me do? Alright, here we go. Go. Alright, next up. Cleffa line. Do I have a Cleffa? I do. Did I go to the wrong box? I did. I have 2 Cleffas. Okay. I guess if I don't have a Clefairy, which I do because I just saw it, but if I didn't. Cleffa. Clefairy. And I know I have a Clefable because I just caught an Alpha Clefable the other day. It's a matter of where it is, though. Might have gone to teams. Oh, there it is. Alright, there we go. Box 2 and 1 are done in our decks. Spinarak. Spinarak, Ariados. Let's see what time it is. If there's going to be later. Dropping my Joy-Cons. Oops. Alright. So what is it? Spinarak and Ariados line. Huh. I think when I dropped my Joy-Con, I messed up the buttons. Oh well, I'll check it out later. I guess this is my my reason to call it a stream for here. As always, man, thank y'all for showing up, showing out, and showing love. Oh, okay, now it's back. But either way, I don't know. It's kind of concerning. I'll check that out later. Yeah, thank y'all for showing up, showing out, and showing love. Hope y'all have a fantastic rest of your Saturday. Great rest of your weekend. And I'll catch y'all hopefully tomorrow, man.